Coming up on today's show, I'll be reviewing this week's big release, Smile.
And I'll be reviewing the week's other big release, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Hello and welcome to What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. I am Luke Owen.
And I'm never fully dressed without a smile. Dan Layton.
I'm just going to let that one
No, just think about
in the air
it. Create
for a
the
bit.
image.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Live the image.
Let it hang.
Yeah. As I do.
In your mind, I meant, but... So anyway, Dan, you saw Mrs. Harris Went to Paris.
I did, yeah. We're going to talk about that immediately.
Well, I mean, do you want to do a coin flip for who's going to review their movie first?
I think rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
One, two, three, go.
We did not agree.
We did not agree on the rules.
Right.
I believe it is 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. What did I do?
You went 1, 2, go.
I'm pretty sure I went 1, 2, 3,
You went
go,
1, 2,
but I
go.
started
Bang,
before
bang,
you.
bang, go.
Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay,
right,
ready?
let's actually count.
Ready?
1, 2, 3, go.
I don't know who wins.
I won.
Thank you.
So Smile's
realised
great.
Okay.
So Smile's a very, very good movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I've been looking forward to this movie for a while as well.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of... I actually said it reminded me of It Follows. Like when I saw the trailer for it when we did the an episode a few weeks
you did.
back
Yes,
before the limited screening, I said like it's got real It Follow vibes about it. And I had that again when I saw the movie. Because when I saw It Follows, I saw It Follows at Fright Fest. And then I went to go see it in the pictures. And when I came out of it, my wife... I saw it the second time with my wife. And she had this moment where she was so like aware of people around her.
Right.
Because like if you haven't seen It Follows, it's about sexually transmitted disease manifesting itself in a person that follows you and is constantly following you around. No matter where you go, it is constantly following you.
Yeah.
And she was just very aware of people standing, people possibly walking towards her, and things like that. She felt very unnerved by everything. And I had the same thing with Smile when it came out, because you just start to notice, and it sticks with you, and you get this sort of unnerving feeling when you see people around you with that smile.
It's that thing of it's the insidious nature of it, and it's actually something that's so... Because when you have a horror movie that's based on something massive, and it's based on something high concept and not real, it's actually quite easy to let it go, but everyone does a smile.
Absolutely, they do.
So that's where it's really smart and playing on those kind of things that we're aware of.
But granted, like it's slightly less than it was with It Follows, because you know this is a movie that's all about trauma and sort of like trauma following you and trauma affecting you in various different ways. So it's not quite the same, but it has that same like ring of It Follows, and actually The Ring and The Grudge and those sort of psychological horror movies of a spirit is trying to get you, as opposed to being like, this is a demon that has possessed someone and we're going to go and do this. And it's got some really good jump scares in it, some very, very good performances in it. It's genuinely unnerving. It really like, I don't want to say the word gruesome because it's not really, but it did make you feel just like, unnerving is the word I keep coming back to be like, I just sat there and very like, clenching the armrest and holding on to things and just sort of waiting for that next moment to come. And it was when I saw the trailer for it, that was the thing that I had, was just like, oh, I'm going to love this movie. As a horror fan, I'm going to love this movie, but I'm also going to I will enjoy the watching of this movie, but at the same time have that like sense of creeping dread throughout its I wouldn't say long runtime, it's nearly 2 hours.
Wow, I mean, that for a sort of horror movie like this, like low concept horror movie, that's quite long.
Particularly as well because this started from a short movie.
Yeah.
This was a short by the director that has now been extended out into a longer period of time. And sometimes I find like Pixels, for example, was a short movie that got turned into a feature.
Yeah,
and
Whiplash is another one.
Yeah, exactly. I think Whiplash sort of that manages to maintain its pace and everything, whereas I think Pixels sort of loses its way a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Smile has that worry of, okay, we've got to take 11 minutes and stretch out to nearly 2 hours. Can we do that? And I think it basically just about does it.
Yeah. On a scale of crying to running from the cinema, what do you think I'm going to feel when I watch that?
You will be... I mean, it's a 50-50 thing, because you will be crying and then running from the cinema.
Okay, great.
So,
okay.
like, you were,
so
like,
I'm going to get the full experience.
The whole full gamut.
Okay, good.
But as a horror movie fan, this is the sort of thing I love and I crave.
Yeah.
So I had a blast watching it.
I think it's and it's the time of year, isn't it? 'Tis the season.
Tis the season
so
of
it's nice
spooky.
to kick the spooky season off with something like this.
I also really am pleased as well because this was not supposed to get a big theatrical release. This was supposed to go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And test screening for it was so good and so strong, Paramount changed their minds and was like, no, we'll put this on the big screen. And they've put a lot of spend behind this as well, clearly, because you can see the posters are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I'm driving to work and I see the buses go past.
I'm coming off the tube, there's a person smiling at me.
Exactly.
I open my phone, there's a person smiling at me.
It's all over the place. So I think it's going to do very well for them, and quite rightly so.
Well, it's also because I think, well, I say 'tis the season, it absolutely is, and also people like to have that experience of going to the movies. Something about a horror movie is a collective experience, you know, and to be able to be sat together holding your popcorn, have the jump scare, it's more fun to watch someone next to you react.
Yeah, and the
laughs
the laughs you get amongst the cinema.
Because we're all together, we're all aware, the popcorn flying everywhere. I love that it's having this big release.
My wife is actually, I mean, I would say terrible for this because she loves it. Like, she gets so scared in horror movies. That's why she said to me I was not allowed to go and see Smile, because she doesn't want to be like that. Like, I mean, the Kevin Bacon link, if you will, which is funny for this movie.
Yeah.
She, you know, there's 7 degrees of separation. She will go and watch a horror movie like that and grip hold of me, and she is one of those people that will like, ah! And then will sort of like nervously giggle afterwards, and you just hear that patter of nervous giggles around after someone does get that big jump scare.
Well, I mean, I jumped in Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and I'm not joking. I'm someone who, if a door closes too loudly...
French people are scary.
Really are. If a door closes too loudly, I will run for the hills. So I'm prime for that kind of... I watch most of these horror movies like this, and it's very... Or I've learned, thankfully enough, over my years of having studied film and the rest, to know when a scare is being telegraphed. And there are some movies that I just close my eyes the whole way through and enjoy the oral experience and the aural experience, and then but it's fun to be there with people. It's fun to have seen it.
That's the great thing about Smile as well, is that you won't see him coming sometimes. So you can try and prepare yourself as much as possible, but it will still get you.
Oh, that's clever.
It's very good with it, in fact.
Okay.
But on to Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Yeah. I saw it the other day. We had a lovely fashion screening. Which is not the first time I've done this. Incidentally, not the first time I've done this with Leslie Manville, who is the star of the film. The last time I had an experience where we went to see a fashion-based screening was for Phantom Thread, which we saw at the V&A with a full clothing exhibit. This was the Paul Thomas Anderson, Daniel Day-Lewis movie that Leslie Manville was in. So it's just funny that I'm having these recurring screenings with Leslie Manville. Very different from Phantom Thread, I will have to say. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris is based on a book from the 50s. About a London-based cleaning woman who sees a couture dress in her one of her clients' wardrobes, and she fixates on the idea, I want one of those very nice dresses for myself. And she saves the money, and she goes off to Paris, and she gets one. And it is a really interesting... it's not the kind of film that you would think that I would go away and keep thinking about democratic socialism, but it absolutely is a movie that made me think about this. It's schmaltz and twee of the highest variety, and I love that. I'm someone who likes my art house movies, my blockbuster movies, but I also like to just go and feel nice. Luke, you know I cry in a film.
Oh, I am well aware, yeah.
I cried in the first 5 minutes of this film, and I'm not joking. I had a lovely single tear come down, because there was something so tender about the performance and the rendering of London, and the early beats of the story that just had me in. And, you know, it is that kind of light, whimsical, almost magical realism in many ways kind of film. And I just really, really enjoyed myself. I had such a lovely time. It has a lot to say, especially about the time that we're in terms of people trying to make ends meet, the value of workers, respecting workers, but also this world where art and craft and dedication to those things are of such high value as well. So it was just a really... And also, like, following your dreams and pursuing the things that matter to you, whether or not people agree or not. It was just a really delightful film. And I think if you're looking for something just to feel... My friends and I might have mentioned this before on the show, I can't remember. My friends and I have a thing that we call a nice little Sunday comedy. Mm-hmm. We would go to West India Quay Cineworld and watch a film that was on of a Sunday. It doesn't even need to be a comedy necessarily. It just needs to be a light film that will make you feel nice, and you'll think about it and you'll go away. Such classics have included the one where Billy Connolly has a Viking burial. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. That's bad on my part.
I was going to say Fisherman's Friend.
Yes, that is a perfect example of a nice little Sunday comedy. Yes, grand. And this is that. It's something where you'll go out, take your parents, take your friends, have a nice time, and just feel good. You know, it is a feel-good film in every sense of the phrase.
Well, I mean, I can't say that I felt good coming out of Smile, but I did very much enjoy myself. And Olivia from Cineworld enjoyed chatting with the film stars. So here's what happened there.
Since filming Smile, do you guys see people's smiles in a different way when you're walking down the street?
But right when I got out of the movie, yeah. But not generally. But right when I got out, I definitely was like, ooh, that's, yeah. Yeah. Is that a nice smile?
Now it's in the back of your mind. Now you're wondering if everyone's smile is genuine.
I just don't make eye contact with anybody.
Did you see it? Like, did you notice it when you left? Like, were you like tripped out by people's smiles?
Yeah, very much. I noticed.
Oh, that's cool.
I just couldn't stop looking.
Great.
That's great.
In 5 words, why should audiences see Smile on the big screen?
Go have fun. You know, go to the movies.
Go to the movies.
Just go to the damn movies. The kids out there, it's fun. I swear. You get popcorn, you can put a bunch of crunch in the popcorn, shake it around. It's like a salty, sweet thing. Mm-hmm. Just go. It's so fun.
Your experience.
These are not fun. No.
No, not
and people will respect you more.
That was a great answer.
They'll respect you.
5 words, baby.
We have 2 big world cinema releases this week. Pontiac Sylvain in IMAX and 2D.
And Vikram Vedha.
And also out this week, Don't Worry Darling, the re-release of Avatar in IMAX 3D 4DX, as well as non-IMAX 3D.
We've got Moon Age Daydream, Ticket to Paradise, and See How They Run. Is Top Gun Maverick not in the cinemas anymore?
I know, right?
Devastating.
Well,
could you imagine if you're the person who missed it?
Well, that's what we talked about last week. You were the one playing chicken with the release of Top Gun Maverick.
Well.
And now it's spooky season now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Tom Cruise could survive a lot, but Smile, terrified of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, what is your pick of the week?
I'm gonna go with Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris purely because I love that kind of it's the schmaltz element. We had another example is Hidden Figures, which, you know, was just pure Hollywood schmaltz. I love it. It makes me feel nice, and I had a really nice time in the movie. So.
Smile for me.
Yeah, I could have guessed.
We also have an unlimited screening of Emily on October 11th.
And we have some event cinema for you. The National Theatre live production of Jack absolutely flies again on Thursday the 6th. And the Royal Opera House's 2022 live opera, Mailing, Wednesday the 5th.
And tickets are now on sale for Amsterdam and Black Adam.
As well as Lyle, Crocodile, and The Woman King. What a slate. Truly.
Yeah. The Woman King, by the way.
Yeah.
The reactions coming out of the unlimited screening were immense.
Were they?
So great. The people who have seen the movie are like raving about it, being like, this is what cinema should be. And when I was driving in today, I saw the poster for Black Adam, and I know you and I did the 4DX trailer reaction to it a couple of weeks back. But I just saw the poster for it, I was like, oh, it's here.
Yeah, this is it. There was in King's Cross Station at the moment, an entire wall is dedicated to all the character posters, which I love as well, because you have the character, you have obviously the performer, but then you have the character name, Black Adam, and then you get to the end, it's just Dwayne Johnson. Like, he's the only one that gets a name. It's The Rock. I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. But that is all we've got time for on this edition of the show. You can check out all of the movies we've discussed today with the links in the video description down below. And if you enjoy these 2 idiots back and forth chatting, you can get more of that in the audio realm, available on all good and bad and mediocre podcast platforms. But until then, I've been Luke Owen.
And I've been Dan Layton.
And that's what's on.